called black tie.
What's that? Are we not supposed to talk?
Nobody's gonna talk.
All right. Nothing incriminating,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yep. Perfect. I'm actually going to start to eat this up now.
Yes, we'll shut this, huh? This is what we do.
But why am I washing up and doing stuff, right? Where you going? You can go somewhere, but why am in,
What?
why I'm going there and washing up and stuff? Just rearrange things like you usually do, okay? Make sure the little porcupine guy there with the hat on is over there.
In the middle?
Well, whatever you want to put, he's got to be in front of the pot. The first shot
Yeah.
is going to be this,
Who's the porcupine guy?
that guy right there.
All right.
He's a dope boy.
All right. Perfect.
You know, set the apples up, you know, in front of the pot. You know, what are you going over there? You can go over there.
Perfect.
It's all on tapes, though.
There you go.
Mark Lloyd, and this is Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
How you doing, Mark? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And we're here with Jamie, and he's going to be cooking. What are you going to be cooking?
Chicken saltimbocca, and we're going to serve that with a little bit of pasta that we're going to make on the show here today.
What is it called again?
Chicken saltimbocca.
Boy, it sounds like from German to me. I know you want
Sit
to.
down.
I know you wanted to cook with Barbara,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, the pasta part anyway. Now, so where's Barbara?
Barbara, how are you doing?
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Nice to
to
meet
come
you.
on the show.
Thank you for having me. Today we're gonna cook a little chicken saltimbocca, as I spoke with Mark about, and we're gonna start with a little bit of homemade pasta.
Okay.
And I think we can probably start now. If
Okay.
you're ready to
So
do that.
interesting.
Yep. So right now we're gonna take 3 eggs. This specific pasta dish takes 3 eggs, 2 1/4 cups of flour. And you can go over there.
Okay.
2 1/4 cups of flour, pinch of salt, and about a tablespoon of olive oil, and
Okay.
some water. So, pre-measured everything before I showed up to the show to make things a little
Makes
bit
it easier.
easier for you
Yep.
and me.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna save that because we're gonna need
Okay.
that bag for the chicken afterwards.
Okay.
once we
So
start.
you're making pasta now?
We're making pasta. Correct.
Making pasta.
Correct.
With the flour, with the 3 eggs.
Yep.
How many cups of flour is that now?
2 1/4 cups of flour.
To 3 eggs.
For 3 eggs,
Okay.
about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt,
Mm-hmm.
and a tablespoon of olive oil.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna knead it in, and we'll probably put a little bit of water in to keep it a little bit
Okay.
more moist.
Well, maybe you might want, Barbara's an expert egg, she likes to do the eggs, so.
There you go.
Watch how expert she does.
Okay, well, it's all you,
Oh,
Barbara.
my.
Here you go. 3 eggs.
Watch this.
Get them right in the middle.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah.
Yep,
The middle.
yep, no shells.
Okay.
Correct.
Respect it for shells.
1,
Perfect.
2. That's how you do it, Jamie?
That's, I kinda do it with one hand.
3. You're good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely perfect. At this point in time, we're gonna put in about a tablespoon of olive oil.
Okay.
That's about right.
If you put a little bit too much, is it still okay?
Yeah, it's still gonna be fine if you put too
Okay.
much in. It's really adds to the moisture, and that's what the water is for, to make up
Okay.
whether it's too dry or not. And if you make it too moist, you can actually add a little
Add
bit more flour
Okay.
and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And that's it for now. And
Okay.
if I need a little fork over there, what I'm gonna do is kind of slowly blend it together while I'm breaking up the eggs.
There you go. Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
All
tilt it to the
right.
camera.
Yep.
Yep, and just kind of, you don't want to splatter it around too much, you just want to kind of get it blended together.
Right consistency.
Get a right consistency, break those eggs up.
Yep.
And right now, you can see it's getting a little bit too dry, so we're going to put a little bit of water in there. All right, not too much. Start with about a tablespoon of water usually works
help it,
well
yep.
to help it through.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
it getting there? Or?
Getting there.
It's getting there. No, not yet, not yet. You don't want to get it too wet, you know, because there's still a little bit of moisture. See, there's a lot of moisture in that piece right there.
Yeah.
We have to get a little bit more moisture spread that around.
Yep.
You know,
Mhm.
if it's not working well, you're gonna have to get your hands in there.
Yep, that's
And
okay.
make sure you wash your hands first and kind of get that moving around and start kneading that out.
And what are you making again?
We're making pasta, homemade pasta. Very simple dish. Very simple thing to make.
And delicious.
Usually it is. We'll find out though, right?
I gotta pick- My mother used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have the machine then. She had a knife. She'd roll it out,
Yep.
like with the rolling pin and everything, and then you get a sharp knife like this.
Yeah.
Cut it like that, in
Mhm.
strips, it'll be a little thicker, but that's how she did it,
Perfect. All right, I'm just gonna get a little bit of water in here.
okay?
Not too much at this point. Just a little
Coming
bit.
out great.
All right. So right now, I think we're gonna get it to the point where we're gonna put it on the countertop and knead it on the countertop.
Okay,
Actually, we can do it right
wanna take this one?
on.
Okay.
No, leave
Yeah,
it.
no, we're gonna need the room.
Okay,
We're gonna need the space because you roll it around quite a
Okay.
bit. Let's put that over here right now. Get that right on the countertop.
okay,
Gotta get these loose pieces and kinda put some muscle into it.
Yep.
Kinda push it with the heel of your hand and roll it at the same time while you're trying to get everything else in there.
and it moistens it still, puts
Yeah,
moisture.
all that moisture that's trapped inside right now is spreading itself around. You're mixing up the salt, you're mixing up the eggs,
Yep,
and getting a good consistency throughout.
okay,
Wanna give that a try, Barbara? Yes or no?
no.
All right.
What
I'm
about
gonna let
Mark?
you do it, you got muscles.
Mark, you wanna try it up?
Sure. All
All right, come on over.
right, here we go.
Trade places.
Yep. See what I'm doing? Just kinda grab it.
No, I'm not gonna do that, no.
No?
No, no, not gonna do that, no. Is there any chicken in there?
There's no chicken in there.
All right, now, like,
What about these chicken bombs you're gonna make?
we'll
Yeah.
make that later.
All right.
Yeah, we'll make the chicken bomb later.
All right.
There are secret terrorist messages in here, so. So the FBI, we warn them now,
Yeah.
they better watch this show because it's,
Yeah.
so it's really tough.
Well, it is. It's
Let
what
me
we're
give
trying
it
to
a shot,
do. Is
look.
we're trying to mix it up. So grab with the hand, pull it up, and hit it with the heel, and push it down, and fold it
Right,
and push.
fold it and push.
Yep. And I'll wash my hands off.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
take over. How's it feel?
How's he doing, there,
Yes,
Barbara?
Mark.
Holy ho.
He's doing good.
This is
He
good.
makes, when Mark makes bread,
There you go.
so Mark has some experience in that.
Yeah, you just gotta hit it with your
No.
heel. But
Yeah.
Jamie, I want you to get it to the final consistency.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do
Do
that.
they have a machine that
Great
does this?
job.
I imagine they do, Mark.
They got a
Yeah.
machine
Things
for
come out a
everything.
lot better when you do it by
That
hand.
KitchenAid
Oh,
thing,
gosh.
How's it coming up?
machine.
Jeez,
Yeah.
good stiff.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be that stiff?
Yep.
Okay, so how long you gotta do that? If you gotta do it with the
Well,
heel?
yeah, you kind of do it until you feel that it's the right consistency throughout. You can see some white stuff in there now, which
Yeah.
is some of the flour that hasn't mixed in yet, so you kind of have to get that down to the point.
It helps your hands moisten too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
sure does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. That's
Yep.
a great shot. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
he's doing great. It looks so good too.
Okay, at this point, I think we're doing all right. And we can actually let that sit. Right now, we need to let that sit to let the ingredients blend together.
Okay,
It takes a little bit of time, so what we'll do is we'll put that back into the bowl
okay.
after I rinse it out a little bit.
And the egg makes the colors yellow.
What's
The
that?
dough yellow, the egg probably makes it like that color, you think? The egg?
Yeah, the egg and the pasta, you know,
Yeah.
the egg yolks,
Flour.
obviously. So we'll put that in a bowl, and you
Okay.
want to keep it covered with
Moist towel,
a moist towel.
okay?
That way there, it doesn't dry out too much. And you want to keep it nice and cool, because if you warm it up, it
Okay,
ends up sticking together. So
okay. I'll just clean
we'll
this
do
up.
that, we'll put that in the fridge. You
Clean
find
up
some
the rest of
space.
it over.
You could just leave that to the side, Jamie.
Yep.
Yep,
That's perfect.
perfect.
We'll take these eggshells out.
Oh, now
of
you're
there.
cleaning up?
Pretty much, you kind of have to clean up as you go.
So how long
You know, you need the space to work.
What?
You need the space to work. All right.
So now you got the pasta all set.
Pasta's ready to go later on. We'll roll it out. We'll thin it down using the pasta maker, and
Yeah.
then we'll cut it into its strips.
Right.
Put that right into the water,
So-
which
so-
has been boiling.
So what we'll do is, go ahead, you can, oh, that'll turn it off.
We're gonna turn that right off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what you did was you took close to a pound of flour,
Pretty much a pound of flour, 2¼ cups,
2¼ cups, and then 3 eggs,
3 eggs.
and a little bit of water, just the consistency. It's kind of like putty.
Well, first you wanna do the salt.
The
There's
salt.
an important ingredient in it.
You need
Gives a
salt.
little bit of flavor, as well as the olive oil.
The olive oil gives it like moisture, so it's like
Correct.
like smooth, like
Yeah.
that pasty spaghetti type thing.
Gives it more of a colloidal feeling than it
Yeah.
does like a brittle feeling.
Colloidal?
Yeah.
Colloidal. Well, You mean oil?
Colloidal. Yeah.
Colloidal.
Colloidal. There you go.
Colloidal.
Yeah. Very good.
That's a culinary term,
Yeah.
colloidal.
No, it's not a culinary term. I'm an engineer.
He's an engineer, so we mix up words.
Exactly.
What trade do you actually engineer?
The MBTA.
Oh, the MBA.
Yeah.
No, do you?
No, I'm
No.
I'm a civil engineer.
Civil engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, would you be, what's an uncivil engineer? The one that builds bridges that fall down?
Well, sometimes I'm
Yeah.
a civil engineer. Sometimes I'm a civil engineer.
Uncivil
So,
engineer.
Yeah, we don't want them to fall down, but
You don't want them to fall down. Well, we
Absolutely.
have Jamie here, and so you make a fresh pasta. See
Yep.
how easy that was?
sitting in the fridge, ready to go.
So you gotta sit in the fridge for how long? How can it
You
sit?
only need to let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. So,
Could you leave it in there longer overnight?
I think so. I haven't done it, but I wouldn't see why not.
But you're not an engineer of spaghetti. You're
That's
an engineer
right.
of civil. You're a
Correct.
civil engineer.
Correct.
Okay.
And I try to be as civil as I can.
Okay. And when you eat, you could try to be civil.
That's right.
You use
Civilized.
That's right. Well, sometimes it gets a little messy, but
a little messy. Yeah. The older you get, the messier it is. You know?
That's right.
That's how you can tell how old someone is. The more food's on them, then you know how old they are.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah, yeah. The more you spill on
There you go.
yourself.
Oh, you see
He's
that.
80. Look at all the milk on his shoulder. All the milk get on his shoulder. Anyway, we got
All
Jamie here, and now what are you gonna do next?
we're going to start because this is the chicken saltimbocca dish. So right now we want to start to prepare the chicken.
You want to start to
Okay.
prepare the chicken? Are you gonna prepare it there?
I'm going to use. I'm going to prepare it right here.
Let Barbie get everything. Tell her to
Got
get.
the
Let me
board?
stay on
Okay.
camera, and then
All right.
let's tell Barbie to get everything.
Okay,
Well, we need the cutting board. And we need the chicken over here, Barbara, in that bag
okay. There's the
that we
chicken.
saved from the previous flour.
Okay.
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 So you get chicken
Yeah,
breast.
you get 3 or 4 chicken breasts for this dish. All right.
A little bit of flour.
Basically, what we want to do is we want to flatten the chicken so it cooks evenly throughout and you don't have any raw spots or overcooked spots. Usually what I do is I put the chicken right in a Ziploc
Boneless
bag.
chicken, boneless, right?
Boneless chicken, correct.
Okay,
Correct, we put that right in the bag.
Okay.
And that keeps any splatter from coming. And we're just going to hit it. And we're going to get the chicken down until it's about 1/4 of an inch. An adapted rolling pin.
okay.
Yeah, but you can use your car.
You could run it over with your tires,
With your
absolutely,
tires, yeah.
absolutely. It might get too thin though, you gotta be careful.
You
Maybe
gotta
like
be
a
careful.
Volkswagen,
Yeah.
use a big truck, it's gonna get too flat, a Volkswagen would.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll have to wait before you pass it back. So have you smacked chicken often lately? No, just kidding. Anyway, I had a friend, right? Thanksgiving Day, Arthur. This is Arthur's story.
He
Hi,
had a
Arthur.
chicken. Hi,
Yeah, he had a chicken. I mean, a turkey for turkey dinner.
A real,
And
a
the
live
thing fell
turkey?
out of it. Yeah, no, not a live turkey, no. It fell out of his car.
Yeah.
And it was frozen. Keep going. It was frozen. You gotta keep pounding the chicken.
There you go, you gotta make it flat.
Gonna make it flat.
There you go.
Make the chicken flat.
There you go.
Yep. So Arthur has his turkey, right? It's frozen. Now, give it a second now, Jamie, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
yep.
Explain it
Yep.
real quick, and then I'll let you start whacking
Yeah,
that
go
chicken.
ahead.
I know
I'm
how you
waiting
like
for
it. All right.
There you go.
All right. So this is an Arthur story, and this is a true story. He had a frozen chicken, and it fell out of his car, and he ran over it with his tire, and then he saw it in the back, and he's rolling down the road, and he goes, "Oh, heck, the turkey." I mean, it was a turkey. "Oh, heck, we gotta go get the Thanksgiving turkey." So I went back and got it, and they cooked it. When they cooked it, there were tire marks on the skin. Honestly, God, that's Arthur. That's
How
a
was
true
it?
story.
How was it?
Tastes like rubber.
There you go.
There you go. Chihuahua.
Perfect. Perfect.
Come on over and tell us about your meatball story.
There you go.
I mean, no.
About your meatball story,
No,
huh?
not yet.
Yeah.
No, Jamie, what do you do now? What do you mean meatball story? I don't
Look at a
know.
meatball
Yeah.
story.
No, I don't.
So right now that we've gotten the chicken flattened, like I said, to about
Yeah.
1/4 of an inch, we want to wash it off.
Oh,
Um,
fine time to be washing it.
Well, hey, you wash it.
Fine time
It's
to
gonna
be
handle the lie. You want to
washing
make sure it's.
Mark.
Wait a minute now. I think maybe you should have washed it before you smashed it. 'Cause
There
you
you go.
smashed
Well,
the
no,
poisons
you
right
don't know
into
what-
it.
You don't know what you're putting in. Your hands are all over it.
That's true.
There you go.
He's right. Hey, the better you can wash it, the better off you are anyway. So remember, before you pound your chicken, wash it.
We'll just let that one be mine. All right.
Hey, listen.
I'll strangle it. What do you?
We'll save that joke for later.
Strangle
There you go.
Strangle a
Yeah.
chicken.
Oh, Barbara.
What?
You try to let that one sit, but then you
All right.
Ooh.
Well, you know, wait a minute. What came first, the chicken or the egg? A lot of people ask that question. Well, there was a chicken and an egg in bed, and the chicken was smoking a cigarette. I guess that answers that age-old
I
question.
think it does. And we'll let that one be too. All right.
All right. Did I
Right now,
say
we got
fast?
the chicken, we have the chicken ready to go.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to flour up the chicken and season it a little bit. Actually, we're gonna back off, and we're gonna get a little bit of sage over here. And
Okay,
get the sage, a couple sprigs, a couple leaves of sage. What we're gonna do is we're gonna chop some of that up, and that's gonna add a little bit of flavor
okay.
to the dish.
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
We have a little knife over there.
Yep, actually.
What do you want, your
Yep,
knife?
give me the big knife.
Okay.
Usually what I do is I'll take the sage and I'll bundle it up in a little ball.
Yep.
And just kind of trim it off as we go. And that gives nice little.
Nice flavor, doesn't it?
Yep.
Flavor Flav.
Does.
Looks
Smell
nice.
it, huh?
You smell it. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do this at least like once a week? What do you, how many
I
times?
try to cook as often as I can.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm an engineer, but I enjoy
On the
enjoy
weekends.
cooking. It relaxes me
It's
on the weekends.
therapy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I try to cook all the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. And
Without tire tricks. Without
without the tire tricks. Absolutely. So I think right now we're ready to prepare and flour up the chicken itself with a little bit of flavor. We're going to put a little bit of salt in the chicken, a little bit of pepper, as well as a little bit of the sage.
You gonna do that there, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm going to do it right here.
Do
If
you
you
need
can
this
grab me the
knife,
flour, absolutely.
Okay.
It's just regular white flour.
Just regular all-purpose flour, nothing special about it. If you're trying to be a little bit more healthy, you can use the wheat flour. That comes out well as well as the all-purpose flour. And we don't want this plate to be too wet from washing the chicken. So right now, I think we'll just use the salt. I'm just going to salt them up, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper for taste. We'll get some of the sage and we'll sprinkle that on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we'll take the bag and just drop the chicken breast right into the bag. And just kind of flour it up lightly, trying to keep as much of the sage on there as you can. Nothing too spectacular.
Mm-hmm. So these are boneless.
These are boneless breasts.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Make sure that if it's too wet, then you're gonna get, the flour's really gonna clump up on you. So you just
Can
want
you
to be.
use chicken strips too, like say
You
got
could.
chicken strips?
Yeah, if you
So-
get some like little tenders.
Yeah, the tenders.
Yeah, you absolutely could use
Boneless
that.
tenders.
Yep, yep.
Pork, even pork.
I
You
imagine
could do
pork.
any kind
I've
of-
never done it with pork, but I
Cutlets,
imagine.
like cutlets of pork.
Yep, yep. Or maybe that turkey they got run over by a
Yeah.
cat too. We
I was
probably
just
could
gonna
use
say,
that.
I was just gonna say, what about roadkill? You could probably use roadkill.
Absolutely.
What the heck?
What happened to that roadkill tap?
I don't know.
And
Gee.
squirrel,
Squirrel. I had a tractor trailer drove through it.
Yeah.
so you've got to
Okay.
be revenge.
So it looks nice now,
So the chicken's all floured up, and that's pretty much, we're done with the chicken. What I'm
Okay.
gonna do is just kind of wash my hand off a little bit and get the
Okay.
plate nice and dry so we can
Now,
put the chicken back.
now we can talk about Jamie. He can't hear us. He can't hear us now. He's washing the dishes for us.
Gee, you know.
Did you see him pound that chicken? Boy,
Yeah.
was that good. What he's cooking is chicken sambuca.
Saltimbocca.
Saltimbocca.
Saltimbocca means
Saltim-
jump into your mouth.
So we're
That's,
gonna have
I don't make
to,
this stuff up,
we have to get him back here to explain what he just said, because it's all Greek to me, you know?
That's right.
It's all Greek to me.
Right, that's-
We actually came in a back door today, but, I actually was a side door. So that's the, what is it, what are you cooking now?
Chicken saltimbocca, and the term saltimbocca means jump into your mouth, from what I've been told, so.
Jump.
Wow.
So it's gonna jump right
It's
into your
not gonna
mouth.
fly into your mouth.
That's right.
Jump into your mouth.
That's right.
Now, but you use, like a liqueur.
No, that's Zambuca.
That's
Right.
simple.
That's Zambuca.
Oh.
That's made with Andes.
Yeah,
This is saltimbocca.
it is that.
This is more of a wine flavoring
A
dish.
wine
Okay.
flavoring.
There you go.
Oh, I
That's
see.
Yeah.
where you get it from.
So why, why don't you just like get the chicken drunk and then hit him over the head and cook him?
It might expedite things.
Yeah,
I think
that's
you're
right,
about
there you
that.
go. Well, actually in France, that's what they do. When they cook geese and stuff, they force feed them loaves of bread when they're alive. And it fills up their stomach and then they die and then they cook them. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah,
They stuff them,
while they're alive.
imagine that,
Yeah,
Jamie,
that's France.
and they eat.
Are they the originators of the turkey bomb or the chicken bomb?
Yes, they are, the swan.
The swan bomb?
Yeah.
All right. Right now, I'm gonna
Messages.
there you go. We're gonna cook up a little. We're going to cut up a little bit more sage. We like our seasonings, so we're gonna put a little bit of chopped sage once we start making start cooking the chicken, so we'll prepare that now.
Okay,
Pretty much done with the sage.
That's too funny. And I'm gonna come over here and join you. And I was gonna
Alright.
ask you. That's good. It's a nice tight shot. He's a very good. Jamie's a very good guest. He doesn't move at all. He knows because he's a civic.
Civil?
Civil.
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 Civics is what you're into.
Yeah, civics.
There you go,
Yeah.
there you go.
what's it?
So he's cooking sage right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, don't
Just-
don't chop your fingers.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna. Oh. But he's a great guest, isn't he, Barbara?
This is a great
Yes.
guest.
We want to say hello to Nancy.
Nancy.
Nancy, how
Hi,
are you doing?
We want to say hello to Barbara. Great. Well, you're probably here.
Yeah.
Well, you are here physically, but I don't know
Yeah.
mentally. But hi, Barbara.
We can say hi to Nancy's family, which are big fans of yours.
Yeah, they're very
good.
nice.
Joe and Barbara Vario.
Nice
Hi,
family.
Joe.
Johnny Vario, John Vario, which you know.
John, I know.
Mike
John, hi,
Vario.
John. Mike
Yeah.
Vario.
Yeah,
God bless you all. You're
Yeah.
all great people,
Yeah.
but you know you're
Well, Joe-
you're foreigners.
there you go.
There you go.
Josie Vario and
We
Tony
love
P.
that.
Can't forget Tony P.
Can't forget Tony P.
Yeah.
No,
Don't put any Tony P in there.
Okay.
great family.
There you
Great
go.
family. You
All
know,
right.
that's a nice thing, you know. Say hello to Judy and Elizabeth, we love you all. And remember, your family is your wealth.
And Butchie,
And Butchie and Kim
Heather and
and
Kim.
Heather and Kim and all the
Can you just give me
grandchildren.
the top of that little container there? I just need some place to put this.
I'm gonna when are you gonna start frying this?
I'm gonna start going right now with that.
Okay,
We're
but,
gonna start to heat the pan up.
okay, can we change,
We can do whatever you want,
what
Mark.
we wanna do is, no, you can leave it. Now, it'll be easier if we change the boiling pot.
Okay,
Well,
we
let-
can move that out
let him
because
do that,
that's,
okay?
Okay,
You
You
just
know?
step back, Barbara, stay in camera, stay here.
we can't cook on this burner here.
You can if you want. Oh, you can do that, sure
Well,
you
it's,
can.
it's a larger burner, we
Yeah.
really need to get the pan as hot as we can get it.
Okay.
That's
So
good.
once a chicken starts cooking,
Okay.
it starts
The chicken's
creating
done.
some of that juice and
Okay,
boiling
let's
off
slow
of the
down for a
pan.
second.
Okay.
Let's just do this here right now. And now for a station break. Do you have sore feet? Are the corns growing so large that people ask you to bring it over for a lobster pick? Well, then you need corn off. No, just kidding. But the thing is that this is the break.
do you have chicken feet?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, we got chicken meat right
There
here.
you go, plenty of
Chicken
chicken.
Then you got the meat. So you pounded the meat.
Yep,
and
onto the
make it
meat.
flat because that
Yep.
makes it
Make
tender.
it the flat.
Yep.
Does that make it a flat?
Yeah.
It makes it tender, right?
Tenderizes it and as well helps it cook evenly.
It helps the cookie evenly. And
Yep.
then you put the sage and the flour and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yep.
Now you're gonna fry it.
Now we're gonna fry it.
About, high heat,
Very high heat with a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
right? That's what we're gonna do next.
Yep.
But while you're doing that, I want you to explain exactly the difference between sambuca and
Saltimbocca.
saltimbocca.
Well, sambuca.
Not yet. Wait until you start
All right.
frying. So now you switch and turn
Okay.
get things going. Don't say anything. Just get yourself going
Okay.
first.
All right.
'Cause I gotta set up.
Is this pan in your way or is this?
No, he's not in the way. No, we're gonna
We're
do
good.
you over
We're
there
good.
when we're good.
Okay.
Bobby, you gotta move over.
Okay.
All right.
Over,
Well, he's gotta stand in front of his station, you hand him the chicken and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And let her assist you with the butter and
Okay.
stuff.
All
I
right.
just want you frying, okay?
Yep, got it. Well, it doesn't take too long to fry. The first thing we want to do, obviously, is get the pan nice and hot.
mhm,
Um,
turn it on.
We're gonna turn it on. You going?
Yep. Oh,
Nope.
stop.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Nice and hot. Now, we want this pan to get really nice and hot. So right now, we can use about a tablespoon of butter.
Okay,
No. You wanna go a little slow now. But you wanna say what the ingredients are.
Yep.
You wanna talk more than
Yep.
action, okay?
Yep. Kind of get that right on and throw that right into the pan. Yep. We're gonna go with about a tablespoon of olive oil. All right. Sometimes we're gonna use a little bit more olive oil, so if you
Yeah.
get too much flour on, it really sucks up too much of the olive oil.
mhm,
This is the extra virgin olive
I can
oil. too,
smell it.
Mark.
Extra virgin, extra virgin olive oil?
Yes, it is,
Mhm,
yes.
Extra virgin. What makes an extra virgin olive oil? I don't know. Well, we know, but we won't get into that now.
Yep, yep. So you get a nice consistency. You don't want the butter to brown here.
Right.
Actually, while I'm doing this, Barbara, you probably can open up the cheese, the mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna need 3 slabs of cheese you can cut off.
Is that a culinary
That's
term?
gonna-
Slab?
Slab,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a-
Actually, that's another civil engineering term.
That's another,
Exactly.
Make sure you put the
Yep.
per square inch slab
That's right.
documentation on there,
Yep.
or else we're not gonna sign our name to it.
There you go.
So you actually stamp stuff, right, with a civil engineer?
With a stamp, correct.
That's so cool.
is that like a surveyor?
Well, the surveyor is a, is a portion of civil engineering.
Is that good, Jamie?
That's,
Is that,
yeah, that's
Huh?
perfect for Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
Make 3 more of those about that
Okay.
size. Yeah, don't get your fingers in there
one?
now. Yeah. Okay, so right now you can kind of see, you get a nice little consistency. And Mark, I know we talked about the mushrooms before. We need to get these mushrooms open, because once we start making the sauce,
Now?
well, yeah, we gotta get it going.
No, later.
All right,
Later.
we can wait.
Yeah.
Well, once, yeah, all right, we'll wait.
Jamie, is that good?
That's perfect. That is absolutely
Okay.
perfect.
Mozzarella, can you
Yeah.
use cheddar?
What's that?
Can you
So right
use-
now, you see the butter starting to brown a little bit now. If things
That's
aren't
a hot-
ready,
that's a hot-
that's a very hot pan, things aren't ready, because we need to get the prosciutto out of the fridge, the prosciutto.
Barbara,
And
show
just have
that,
that ready.
show that when you bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, very
And the
nice.
prosciutto, generally, when you buy prosciutto, you want to get it really nice and thin. For this dish,
This is Italian ham.
yes, it is. This is about 40 years old, right? It's very aged.
Yep.
So
Wait,
that
wait.
prosciutto's ready.
It's cured.
Wait, what do you mean it's Italian ham? I mean, it got hit by a bus?
That's right.
It's
What is
Italian
that?
ham, it's
Italian
prosciutto.
ham.
Similar to that chicken that got
Yeah.
run over by the
Ah,
cow, or the
yeah.
turkey, whatever it
You
was.
heard about the Italian that died drinking milk, right?
No.
The cow fell on him. Yeah, so, all right, Italian pig.
Yeah.
Italian ham.
There you go. All right, so that's the prosciutto, so that's ready to go. We have our sage ready to go, so I think we get this pan back on and get that back up to temperature.
Okay.
Okay, you see it's starting to brown, the butter's starting to brown a little bit. That's about the stage that you want it, so we're gonna get the chicken ready to go.
Okay.
Once that's hot enough, I really want to fry that in there and kind of sear the chicken.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to bring the chicken over, Barbara, I can just start throwing these babies in one at a time.
Sure.
You can start hearing it sizzling
Sizzle,
out,
sizzle.
which is good.
Sizzle,
Keep that flavor in there.
Flavor Flav.
There you go.
Go.
All right. So right now, it's probably about 5 minutes per side, generally, on this chicken. As long as the pan's hot enough. And we're going to use the tongs I think we had, which are
Okay,
right here,
okay.
to turn the chicken when we're ready to go.
Okay.
So, Mark, you wanted to know the difference between the Zambuca
Yeah.
and the Saltimbocca?
There you go.
Well, one gets you drunk, one doesn't. So that's a short answer to it. The Zambuca is made with anise, and the Saltimbocca is just a name of a dish. It means jump into your mouth.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go. So right now, just to let you know what we're gonna do, once the chicken is cooked, both sides, we're gonna take the prosciutto, put the prosciutto on top of each piece, and then we're gonna take the mozzarella cheese, put that on top of the prosciutto,
Wow.
okay, with a little bit of the sage, all right, and then we're just gonna let the,
Melt. Is it-
let the mozzarella cheese melt down on the chicken, and then we're gonna use the pan to make up the Saltimbocca sauce.
It's not gonna jump into my mouth now, is it?
No, it's too hot right now. It likes to cool down a little
Like,
bit.
you know.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We're gonna also, because once this is done cooking with the prosciutto and the mozzarella cheese, we can put that in the oven and just keep that warm. So just get the oven on a low
Oh,
temperature.
that's a nice pan.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
On like 200 something?
No, like on one, with the lowest setting it'll go, just enough to keep it warm. You don't
we
wanna
flip?
melt the cheese anymore.
flip?
Not yet, not yet,
Can
not
we do
yet.
that now, Jamie?
Yeah, I think we could. I
Take
know
the
you had,
cornbread out of
I
there.
know you have some cornbread in
Okay.
there. For dessert,
Fresh cornbread bread, yeah.
all right.
And then you just.
How does this oven
Shut
work?
that,
Do you
right?
need it open to work or
No,
what?
shut it.
Yeah?
Yep. shut it.
Now, Jamie just asked you, do you need the oven open for it to
One
work?
time.
No, you gotta close the door first.
Well, all the numbers on the inside, so.
Hey,
Easy,
you never
easy,
get. Leave
easy.
the door open.
Yeah, sometimes you wanna keep them moving too.
I wanna put it like this.
Oh, you can put them
So
on.
always leave the door
Hold on
open,
a second, you can tell by the texture.
chicken might
You see
fly
that the
in.
chicken, it's not done yet, it's probably got about an eighth of an inch is already
How about the
cooked through.
thin ones, though?
You know, so we're looking
There
pretty
you go.
good there.
There you go,
Yeah.
perfect, yeah.
Yep, so, you kinda tell, it kinda gets a little firm when you push on it, so,
Smells great.
Gotta leave the door open so the chicken can fly in.
there you go.
Nothing like fried flesh, I'm telling you.
There you go.
Smells
good, doesn't it?
Nice and
Yeah.
golden brown.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, that's how we want it.
Golden brown.
Yep.
awesome.
How nice that looks.
Yeah.
And it smells so nice.
Nice and hot pan. And what we're doing right now is the chicken is creating flavor into the pan, so we want to make sure that we retain that flavor, because that's going to add to the sauce that we're going to make.
Wow.
So, So Mark, are you running for selectman this year?
Yes, I am.
What else are you
All right,
running
we're
for?
gonna have to go over and talk with him.
Housing,
Housing authority?
yep, housing,
Yep. What else?
School committee.
yep, school committee.
Mm-hmm. How do you find time to campaign for
I think you do good.
all these positions?
Well, you know, I stay up like 20 hours a day walking the streets and talking to people, and I found out that they want to put things on the ballot. They're sick and tired of the government running amok.
Right.
Are you for mayor or against mayor?
I'm for anything that's different. You know, I say, you know, elect a jackass in there. Well, wait a minute, we already do in Congress, but which one? Yeah.
But Mark will get the job done.
We're gonna put things on the ballot. Let the people decide.
And
Yeah.
I was talking with my brother Danny the other day, and he's a lawyer down in DC, and
Right.
he's thinking about becoming a politician.
You should. Yeah. So
He
put
could
it
be
on
the
the
change.
ballot.
He could be the change you're looking for.
That's right. Hey, you always gotta go for it. Don't ever give up.
That's right.
Don't ever give up. Oh, it looks good.
No.
Yeah, we're kind of getting in there. We want to make sure, you kind of see it's a little soft in the middle. We want to make sure that the chicken is nice and firm there. It is going to cook a little bit while the prosciutto is on there.
Sit, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? You wanna do prosciutto now?
Not yet, not yet. The chicken's not ready for it yet. It's not ready for it.
So you got 25 minutes to put it all together, 20 minutes, so.
That's plenty of time, because we need to cook the pasta, roll the pasta out. We got, you know, this.
Okay. And say we'll be right back.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Chicken's done.
Now the chicken's just about done. Probably still needs to cook probably for another couple minutes. So that's the perfect time to put the prosciutto on there. And each, and I'll hold this up.
No, you don't have to.
Bring
I
the
got it.
camera over.
Yeah, bring the camera over.
Each piece of chicken gets its own little piece of prosciutto on there.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Doesn't have to look good, it just has to taste good, right? And right on top of that, we'll put a little piece of mozzarella. All right, that Barbara was kindly enough to cut for us. And that's ready to go. Right now, we just want to let that mozzarella melt down. We have one more piece of prosciutto that we're going to use back in the sauce.
Okay.
And we can even sprinkle a little bit more sage
Sage on top.
on top. Just put a
Flavor.
couple of sprigs on there.
Flavor.
Flavor. All right. And help to expedite some of the melting, we're just going to cover it.
Cover on it, right.
Put the cover on
exactly.
it, and that will melt down the mozzarella.
So nice, Jamie.
And we're going to get our plate ready.
Okay.
Get our plate ready while that's melting down. And we can also,
You gotta put it in the oven, don't you?
what's that?
Yeah.
It's going to go in the oven after it goes on the plate.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to get this plate ready right there.
Okay.
And the prosciutto, we're going to cut that up because that's going to get ready to go back into the sauce. Okay, if you want to cut that up, and you can kind of chop it. So get a couple strips going and get,
Okay.
get some little squares. That will even out the flavor. Just kind of bite right into it with the knife. Kind of gets a little stringy sometimes with the fat that's in it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be pretty, Barbara, just as long as we get it cut right up. Now that's perfect.
And this is what's cooking? And
What
Barbara,
is cooking?
what is cooking?
Yeah, it should be cooking with Barbara and the Lord.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That's from Joe Barrio.
Well, that's why I love, that's why I love.
Joe.
Hi, Joe. I love Christmas songs that he sings, like "Oh Joy to the World," "The Lord Has Come," and all that. It's a
Yeah.
really a great song.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
That good, Jamie?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Hi,
Gotta
Joe.
leave it out.
G&G silk screen.
There you go. An embroidery.
Yep. So right now, the mozzarella isn't totally melted down, but it's starting to get there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that in the oven now, because the oven will
No, the rest, right?
will melt the rest for us. Can you smell that? Smell the
Yeah.
potato cooking in there?
Yeah.
Very nice.
No, so nice.
Very nice flavor and a very nice
Flavor,
smell.
flavor.
Let's add to it.
It's
All
nice.
right. So this
nice
will go
that
into the
looks.
oven and keep nice and warm till we're ready for it. And
What temperature is that now,
I
Jamie?
just set it at 120, to the lowest temperature that most ovens go to.
Okay.
That will help keep it warm until we're ready for it. So right now you kind of see some of the chicken pieces still in the pan. The butter and the olive oil is started to break down. So at this point, we're going to lower the heat on it. Okay, and we're gonna get some of our mushrooms ready,
Okay.
okay? And we're gonna move our prosciutto out of the way.
You put it in the dish.
Okay, we'll put that right into this side dish right
Okay, you
here.
got 12 minutes,
Okay.
so
12 minutes?
12 or 14 minutes. But we
All
should
right,
be
well.
able to do it now.
Well, you wanna, I don't know.
Yeah, we will. Here we go. Ready, Barbara? We're gonna do the
All right, well, we gotta get-
sauce.
we
What are
gotta
we doing
get-
now?
We're getting the sauce ready.
The sauce is over here, right?
Yep. Sauce is gonna start with the mushrooms, which we need to open up the mushrooms. Right
Barbara, why
now.
don't you get out of the
And
camera?
you got your Boy Scout knife.
I know, it's a little Leatherman knife that's not meant for this, but we're lacking a can opener at this time, so right now we're gonna try to puncture a hole in it and get,
No, don't do it that way.
Boy Scout knife.
No. That's the Boy Scout way.
there you go.
There you go. You break your knife too.
Yeah.
A little bit right there. You
Yeah.
break your knife. No, this is how you gotta do it.
Yep,
I don't know. What is this? Oh. No, you just go like this. I used to know a guy that did this. So you already cut the holes in it, right?
yeah, I
So
started to with the knife.
you can go like this, or you
Yeah.
can go like that, or you
Yeah.
can saw it in half.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna start on
Saw it in half, saw it in half. Normally you can go like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Don't try this at home, girls and boys.
yeah,
Only leave this to trained professionals.
there you go. This is,
Mark's a trained professional. Mark.
What?
And you're a trained professional,
The
right?
only thing you gotta watch out for that, you get
stop it
milk.
right there, we wanna drain some of that juice out of those
Yeah,
mushrooms.
there you go.
Perfect little strainer that Mark made for us.
Yeah, did you do a good job?
But you gotta watch it because if you don't watch it, you'll cut little pieces
Yep.
of metal off.
There you go.
And you don't want that. No,
All
oh, no. Engineer.
There you go, sir.
You just use your knife, the
Yeah.
other side of your knife,
Yep,
bend that.
fold it over enough to get some of them out of there, and then we'll eventually come
See,
out.
he's out. See there, he's professional.
Oh, yeah, professional, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You wanna have a train wreck, just call me and, there are secret terrorist messages in this right now.
Here we go.
So, whoa!
Watch
That's why you
yourself.
do it that way. That should be good enough, huh?
That's perfect. That's perfect. So we get ready with that.
There you go,
We're
now
gonna
you
get
got the
our stove
mushrooms.
back on. Right?
Yeah, you got your sage.
Yep.
Well, I'm a sage too, I'm gonna predict the future. I
There we
predict
go.
that we are gonna get it back, put it on a ballot.
Put it right on a ballot, right up there with the seat belts on the school
That's
buses,
right,
right?
exactly.
See, he
Yeah,
knows.
see?
Exactly.
He's been watching.
Perfect. So at this stage, we're gonna need a little bit of,
Now you can go back.
wine. The cheaper the better.
Oh, good.
So there is wine in there.
Oh, absolutely there is. All right, a little bit of wine. We're gonna go with a little bit more butter. Barbara, if you wanna
Okay.
cut off probably about a teaspoon of butter, not too much, but we wanna get some of that buttery flavor back there.
Flavor.
About a tablespoon again?
No, a little bit less than a tablespoon.
Oh.
Yeah, right there's fine. Perfect. Drop that right into the pan. Get that. We'll get that melted down. All right. Once we get that melted down, it kind of greases the pan up. We're going to use about 3/4 a cup
White?
of like a Pinot Grigio, like
Okay.
a dry white wine works best.
Okay.
So about, see that?
Yep.
What we're going to do is we're going to
About a quarter of a cup.
about a quarter a cup.
Yeah,
We're going to boil that down, but at the same time, we're going to boil it down with the mushrooms in there.
button mushrooms,
Button mushrooms,
okay,
right out of the can, or fresh mushrooms if you
wish,
wish. I think the fresh mushrooms take a little bit longer to cook, and it's
Yeah.
really not right for this recipe. You kind of smell them. What we want to
Yeah.
do right now is we want to reduce the
Reduce
wine
it?
down.
Okay, so we
Okay,
reduce
so
it.
we're going to have about a quarter of liquid. If you want to take a look at this,
Yeah.
when we're done, we're going to have about a quarter of the amount of liquid that we have in there right now.
But now we gotta go to the pasta. Let that reduce by itself. Now you gotta go to the pasta. If you can, look at, Jamie.
Hold on.
He's worried. He
No,
don't.
I'm not worried. We
Not
just don't
worried.
want to let this sit too long. We
You
can't really go to the...
You gotta stir it, Barbara, you stir it. Let Barbara stir it.
yep,
Keep this going.
Keep that going.
I put some more sage in there, and I put the prosciutto
Prosciutto,
in there.
okay.
Prosciutto. Okay, and you can just let that boil down.
okay.
Okay, when it gets to about a quarter of the liquid.
That's not take a while, Barbara. Keep
Yeah,
stirring.
exactly. So, right now we want to get our pasta ready to go. Okay, which right now we're going to need the knife. We don't need any more of this.
Barbara, what's the name of the show?
It's called What's Cooking,
Cooking with the Lord.
and we're on
No,
every
she's-
Monday night at 6:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, there you go.
TV, channel
Mhm.
13,
Yeah.
We're filming at the PAC TV studio on 30 Court Street.
And who do you have as a guest?
And we have Jamie Shores here for a guest. Hi, Jamie. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's really
So
great.
right now we have the pasta coming out, ready to go. Nice and chilled. Still looks good.
It does look
All right, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure our water is boiling here.
okay.
And we wanna put that into a nice hot pot.
Okay.
All right, and is that still reducing down there, Palmer? Did you want to adjust it? You want it to boil, you don't want it to boil too much too fast because we're trying to do 3 other things at once here.
Okay.
All right. So, as we get ready for this pasta, we're gonna cut off just a little bit of the pasta and start to flatten it out. Just a little bit,
It's coming out
you know,
great.
and get a nice oval shape. And what we'll do is put it in through our pasta machine. We want to set this thing probably around a 2 or a 3 setting on this piece of equipment here. If it's too thick, I think it's too chewy. Some people prefer it that way. Last time I made it, it was a little bit too chewy for me. So right now, we're just going to turn the handle and go. That's going to be too thin, I think. So we'll just throw that off to the side. Run this thing at about a 3 consistency or 3 thickness for the pasta. And as it comes out, get a nice
Yep.
thin, evenly thin piece of pasta. We'll switch the lever over here and roll the pasta out to make our spaghetti or our
Wow.
linguine or whatever you want to make. This just has a thick spaghetti
You need a plate,
side to
Jamie?
it. No,
No?
we're just going to put that right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming out so great. Is
Yeah, it looks
is
great.
this coming along?
How are we doing on time there, Mark?
You got 6 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect time. So we'll get this pasta made in short order here. All right.
But you could do that by hand too, just roll it out by hand.
You could roll it out by hand. Right now, we're trying to rush the program a little bit, so it's not.
Sorry, take your
Consistency is not correct. How's that coming out there, Barbara?
This one looks.
Yeah,
What do you
reducing
think?
right down for us.
I never realized how much eggs were in noodles.
That's why they call them egg noodles, Mark.
Oh,
There
they're
you
egg
go.
noodles,
There you
are
go.
they?
You can make it without eggs if you want.
Oh, there you go, that's an interesting point. These are egg noodles.
There you go.
Look at that now, see?
Oh,
So nice.
nice.
Nice and squeaky.
Come out nice.
No, if you oil it up, make sure you use olive oil. All right.
How's that, Jamie?
A little bit more, Barbara. You
Okay.
can kind of smell too much of a wine smell right
Yeah.
now. It still needs to reduce a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Keep moving that around. What I normally do is I kind of judge it when the pan's up.
Yep.
And we're about half of what we had before. So we got to go a little bit more.
So this is what's like marinating them is really is what
Yeah,
it's
pretty
doing.
much cooking and breaking down
Yeah.
and all the
Yeah.
little elements inside the wine are breaking down and producing new
Yep.
flavors for us.
Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav. So right now, just about finished with the pasta. Makes about a pound of pasta.
Doing a great job.
All right. One more time through here.
So nice and
Looks nice. Trying to get it.
it's
Time to oil it up.
Trying to get it
There you go.
noodle.
There you go. All right now.
You make little piles like that.
Yeah, just little piles. You can put it in a bowl. If you're gonna cook it and you're not gonna boil it quickly, you want to put it in the fridge. Keep it nice and cool. All right. So right now, I think we're at a good consistency for the sauce. Maybe a little bit too much now. All right. And at this point, I like to put in a little bit of sugar. Kind of gives that little sweet taste.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah.
That sweetens it up for you. All right. That's perfect. So right now we'll get that right up. Keep a cover on it to retain as much of the liquid as we can. Get our pasta ready to go. The pasta's going to go right into the pot. right into the pot and boil
Wow.
that for about 3 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, great, then we're almost done.
We're just about done. Just about done. All the puzzle pieces are in place.
Great.
Boil that up, get that cooked, it'll be a little al dente. And
Like Mark says.
we're ready to serve it up in
I love the
about 3
al dente.
minutes.
Yeah, we say that.
And do we have a plate, Barbara, to put
Yes,
this
we
on?
do. This one here, did we decide this
Nice
was
cranberry color plate.
perfect plate for that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like El Dante, it's like El Allende, what is that, in Spain or something? They overthrew them, the imperialist, federalist pigs. No, I'm just kidding, this is a cooking show, this isn't anything like that. Look that up in your history books. Anyway,
Wagons.
on the Funkin' Wagons. So now we have Jamie here, who's a civil engineer.
Yep.
Did you get your hair engineered?
No, I didn't get my
Okay.
hair engineered, Mark.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure about
He's
that.
got the greatest hair, doesn't he, folks?
Yeah,
There you
cute.
go.
I'm gonna have to
There you
take a
go.
shot of it later. Well, we actually did take shots of it later,
There you
but we
go.
missed them. Anyway, but, so this is egg noodles now. All it takes is 3 or 4 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes, just
Wow.
cook it down, because it's very fresh, you know. So we're just about done with that.
It's so nice. And then get
So, let me get the strainer.
What we'll do is we'll get the strainer, we'll get a strainer over the sink, Mark, because you don't want to pour it all over the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
You want me to strain it?
We can strain it right here if you want, but
I don't know. I'm just a camera person. I don't know.
we're just gonna go over to the sink and strain it up.
Ah.
And then he'll be in hot water.
There you go, we'll be in very hot water. But you need is a sink over here too.
There you go.
What do I know?
Don't fly
There
away.
you go.
Now what do we do?
Now he's
Now
gonna
we're
put it on the
gonna
plate.
bring the
Coming
pasta
over.
right over to the
There you
plate.
go.
That's right.
Put the pasta
There
on
you
the
go. Now
plate.
I'm gonna let you rock and roll.
Alright. Make sure the plate's not too hot for you as you
Wow.
pull it out of the oven.
Wow.
And what we'll do is we'll place the chicken pieces on the plate,
Wow.
just like so. Okay, and we'll take the sauce, put the mushrooms in the prosciutto, and we'll pour it over, try to pour it evenly, because the best part about this dish is the sauce afterwards. The mushrooms roll on the floor, don't try to grab them, they're hot.
Oh,
And that's it.
that looks
And
so
if you wanna
wonderful.
take a,
Look at that, Mark.
Mm.
So wonderful.
Take a couple nice little
And the smell is so great.
sage sprigs, put them on top,
Wow.
make it look nice and presentable.
Well, why don't
There you
you,
go, chicken salt and boca with homemade pasta.
So nice, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
thank
Did
you
a
for
great
being,
job.
why don't you,
Thank
tr-
you so much, Jamie, for
Thank
coming
you for
on.
having me.
you're welcome.
Have
Now,
you
Bobby,
again.
you wanna taste it? Let's taste it on
So
here.
why don't you taste it on air? What happens if you don't like it?
Why? That's what Julia Child said.
Exactly, it's nice
That
and
looks
hot right
great.
now.
Oh, no, the whole thing now? What the heck?
Well, I'm just gonna cut
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Oh, there's plenty here for everybody. So. All right.
Wow. Wow. I got some plates here.
Looks so nice.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, 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 there you go. There you go, lunch ready to go.
There you go.
What kind of plate, these Christmas plates?
Yeah.
Leftover
Yeah,
Christmas
Christmas
plates?
plates.
I like the pasta.
Season's greetings, there you go. Take the pasta away.
I'm trying the pasta.
Yep. A little al dente, I
The
think.
A
flavor
little bit
so
of mushrooms here.
Get some mushrooms on there,
A little butter on there, a little
Yep.
bit of that.
a little bit of prosciutto
The
on there.
ham really does a great job.
It does,
you know,
it
the
adds a
ham.
nice flavor to the dish,
Yeah.
absolutely it
Mhm.
does. How is it?
It is so good. The ham.
The noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
The wine goes right into the mushrooms.
There you go. Right into your liver too.
Oh, jeez. Very good.
Very good.
Delicious, delicious. Excellent. Gourmet.
Awesome.
Chicken salt and boca, does it jump into your mouth, Mark?
Or the flies.
Yeah, it does jump into my mouth,
There you
yeah.
go. See?
I'll tell you one thing, it flies right up my,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
The
you fill in
ham.
the word.
Yeah, there you go.
The
That's
ham.
really good.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Every orifice in my body is gonna love this.
We're just gonna let that one be too, Mark.
My
right?
nose, my mouth,
There you go.
my ears,
There you
my
go.
eyes.
Yep.
So great.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanna come on the show, right, Barbara?
If you wanna come on the show, write P.O. Box 1503, Manor, Massachusetts, 02345, and you can be a guest cook on the show.
There you go.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it, Jamie?
Thanks, Jamie.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Go.
Hi, everybody. What's cooking? Mark, come on over.
No, I'm not gonna, it's all
I'm
you,
gonna tell you
Barbara.
what's cooking today, Mark.
All right,
I'm gonna tell everybody what's cooking today.
okay, what's cooking?
Mark, 12, noontime,
Oh.
lunchtime.
What's cooking?
It's lunchtime, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark, this is Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Mark.
Nice to see you. What we're here today in Pat TV Studios on April 24th.
Mhm.
And what you saw prior to this was Jamie Shores. Wasn't he great?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a wonderful human being. He cooked some great stuff. He has a nice family. And
Hi, Jamie.
hi, Jamie, and all that family over there, and a wonderful person. And here we are cooking in Pat TV Studios. We're going to cook something very simple today.
Mhm.
It's a hot dog omelet.
Oh,
I know it sounds funny, hot dog omelet. But we got the hot dogs. Right?
everybody likes hot dogs.
Everybody
Right?
likes hot dogs.
Come on over. Have a hot dog. Want a hot dog?
Want a hot dog? Come on.
Anyway,
Here, boy,
I
here,
had a
boy.
neighbor that used to say that. Want a hot dog? And he'd be miles.
Really?
He'd be miles away on his deck, and I'd have our deck would be here. There'd be
Oh,
like 3
jeez.
decks in between, and he'd holler over and he'd say, "Hey, want a hot
Oh my
hot
gosh.
dog?"
Gee,
You remember that, right, Butchie?
That's funny. That's right, Butchie. We want to say hello to Butchie.
Hi, dear.
And we hope that everything's going to go well because everything's going to be fine, and we love him very much.
Right.
I want to say hello to Kim
Hi, Kim.
and Valerie
Haley.
and Liz and Judy and
Uh-huh.
your sister,
Right, Elaine
Elaine and Joey.
and Joey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Joseph. My
And
friend
Joseph.
Joseph in Duxbury.
Joseph and Duxbury. We want to say hello to all those people. We're going to cook a very simple meal today because life it should be simple. It shouldn't be complicated
It's stressful.
and stressful. That's why I'm running for selectman of the town of Plymouth to put things on the ballot.
Right.
You know, I saw the other night, right, Barbara? You were watching the selectmen's meeting, right, the other
Yes, I
night?
was.
Wasn't it funny? They were
Yeah.
like excoriating Selectman Lohenberg.
Yeah.
I don't think that was right for that man to do that.
Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Joseph.
Right.
That wasn't right for him to do
Right.
that.
Right.
You know, you don't excoriate people because they misunderstand or something. That wasn't nice, you know?
No, but she
No.
handled it well.
She handled it well. I thought it was pretty good. But the thing is this, I saw the selectmen discussing the problem of litter on the streets of Plymouth for 50 minutes and no one could come to an answer. The answer is put a sign up there in the bad areas, the defective areas that say if you litter, you get a $500 fine, police take notice. Believe me, there'll be no litter in the town of Plymouth.
And volunteer your service.
You wouldn't even have to do
Volunteer
that.
your service and pick up litter.
You wouldn't
No.
even have to do that. If you put those signs up there, that does
Just
it.
do it. You see a problem, do it.
And
You know? Fix it. Fix it.
we better start cooking, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble over here. So what do you got, oil?
Problem, Mark.
So why don't you start cutting up the peppers? Let me get it for you, stay right there.
Okay. Mark cooks great omelets.
Yeah, there's one pepper.
The
And
red-
where'd you get the peppers and all?
We got everything here that you see from Quintal's Market. Quintal's Fruits and Vegetables, one in Manamit, one in North Plymouth. And all his fruits and vegetables we use on the show every week. And it's a great place. You should go to Quintal's Market. It's nice, fresh vegetables.
Oh yeah, they're the greatest and they're very inexpensive and we wanna thank Mr. Quintal, Selectman of the town of Plymouth, for giving us these great fruits and vegetables. And he's got that great 9/11 memorial that he
It's
raised.
very nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the granite monument, I think it's granite, no, it's marble.
Black.
Your father
I
was
think it's black granite.
black granite
And it's polished. The top is polished.
with all the names on
Yeah.
it, all of the 9/11 victims.
Mhm.
But you know, Mr. Quintal said an interesting, Barbara, start cutting
Yeah.
pepper. Jeez. No, not that way. Start the other end. No, there you go. Oh, no, that's these. Back with the busted.
God bless you, Mark.
Gosh.
So the red peppers are very, very tasty, so we'll put some red pepper, some yellow pepper, some green pepper, and some onions in the omelet, along with the hot dog and some cheese. Right, Mark?
Yep.
And we probably need a bowl, I wasn't thinking, but maybe we need a bowl to mix the egg in.
Yeah,
Or
we can
gonna
get that
throw it right
later.
in the pan?
Ah.
Mark's allergic to what's cooking.
Oh, sh-
So there's this red
Say that
pepper.
again, I'm allergic to what's called.
I think Mark's allergic to what's cooking.
No, you know what I'm allergic to? I'm allergic to all the inept, ridiculous, frivolous, and stupid comments that selectmen and all politicians make on the behalf of the American citizen. That's what I'm allergic to, and that's why I'm running for selectman in town. Oh, that's really good.
Exactly right, Mark.
So now we heat this up.
Put a little olive oil in the pan.
Yeah.
So we got some yellow peppers, we got some red peppers, and we got some green peppers.
The most crucial issue of the day is to get surface-to-air missiles around our nuclear power plants. Ken Tavares and, Dickie Quintal, the selectman, read the report, the 400-page report the 9/11 Commission put out. The 9/11 Commission put out and said that in that report, the 400-page report, it said that terrorists were targeting the nuclear power plants. And Dickie Quintal gave that to Chairman Selectman Ken Tavares. Whether he read it or not is beyond me. But the thing is, we have to get surface-to-air missiles around all our nuclear power plants. Do not let government miserably fail us like they have in the past with the Louisiana levees. They knew it was going to happen with the World Trade Center towers. Well, did you know about the CIA told the federal government and the president 70 times that they were going to attack the World Trade Center towers, and they did nothing about it. Don't let government miserably fail you again. We have the information.
They lie.
Do it.
They don't tell you the truth, you know that.
Yeah. And you know
We're the
something?
truth.
We're the truth.
They make you believe everything's fine.
And when the nuclear power plant does get destroyed in America, somewhere in America, those politicians better run. And they better have guns, because people are gonna lynch them. Because the writing's on the wall. The writing is so thick on the wall about the terrorist attacks on nuclear power plants, blind people can read it with Braille.
They better run now, not hide, run.
They better run.
If they hide, we'll get.
How you all doing? This is Mark Lord, and this is Light C Streets, otherwise known as Special K. Special K meaning knowledge. The nuclear power plant. We want to thank Richard Quintal again, one more time. We want to thank Richard Quintal, Selectman, for moving the process forward to get anti-aircraft missiles around our nuclear power plants. He's a hero in my book, and a bronze statue should be erected of him in Brewster Gardens, because he's putting forward to get anti-aircraft missiles around our nuclear power plant in this time of terror, when the President of the United States isn't even considering it and should. Because the President I hope they don't start weed whacking around here. Because the President has said that the terrorists are planning to attack our nuclear power plants in America. They have American power plant blueprints in Al-Qaeda caves they found. The FBI has said it many times that the terrorists want to bomb a nuclear power plant with planes. And we need anti-aircraft missiles around our nuclear power plant. And we want to thank Richard Quintal, Selectman of the Town of Plymouth, hero, for implementing and starting the process. We need it as soon as possible. And I'm Mark Lord, and this is City Lights, City Streets. That's the bottom line. Jack Kevorkian was who assisted in 130 deaths. Has diabetes and weighs only 113 pounds, and he's in jail, and they want him released, but they won't release him. For crying out loud, he assisted in 130 deaths because people wanted to die. In Oregon, Mass. In Oregon, in the United States of America, I mean, the weed whackers distract me. I'm gonna have to shut down. So we'll be right back. Well, we're just going to go with it anyway because, you know, time's a waste and these are important issues. Jack Kevorkian assisted in 130 deaths, and the state won't let him out of jail. But yet, the state turns around and murders people in the electric chair, you know. But Jack Kevorkian can't do it when people want it done. In Oregon, in the United States of America, in Oregon, they passed doctor-assisted suicide in Oregon. I thought this was the United States of America. I guess not. Concerning the rape and alleged murders of a family in Iraq during the Iraqi war, local resident soldier was accused. You know, you can't put people in a situation where there's murder going on. People go crazy. You can't blame the soldiers for doing what they did. Rape is an act of aggression. It ain't an act of sexuality. It's an act of hate, revenge. So what these soldiers allegedly did goes on in every single war. From the Peloponnesian Wars to the Civil Wars to World War II, Korea War, Vietnam War. It goes on in every war. That's what war is. And people got to get used to it. The Geneva Convention and all this. Oh, you can't torture someone, you can't gas somebody, but you can blow them into itty-bitty bits. Get real. Come on. Get real. Wait a minute, there's an ant crawling on my camera. I want to get him. Oh, there he goes. Did I change the focus at all?
Not that big and listen to you, you little scallywag.
Ants are very strong animals. Ants are very strong animals, insects. They can carry 10 times their weight. Elephants can only carry 3 times their weight. So actually the ant is one of the strongest living things on the planet. But you have to be like ants, or else they're going to stomp on us with a big foot. It's for sure this is an alienation of a nation. For sure, we're not told the facts about organic vegetables. We're not told about what foods are irradiated with radiation and what foods aren't. We're not told about herbicides and pesticides. We're not told about the secret deals and secret meetings. Dick Cheney doesn't like the media investigating bank transactions, international bank transactions. He says Congress and the media should stay out of investigating bank transactions internationally because they undermine the government's plan to find the terrorist financial records and stuff. The reason why Cheney doesn't want the media looking into financial records internationally is because Cheney is involved in some shady deals and they're going to turn up something that he did where he laundered millions of dollars. What are you thinking? Of course that's what it is. So the financial dealings surrounded Halliburton, we want to know where those bank transfers are. And Halliburton runs a base in Iraq, and they make something close to $500 million a month just on feeding the troops and housing the troops over there. And I hear they're even getting lobster at this particular base. I mean, okay, man, I believe in feeding the soldiers well, but lobster? 4 different kinds of ice creams? Come on. And it's all outsourced. Usually the military itself used to have KP, they used to peel the potatoes, cook the meals, but now they have Halliburton, professional cooks, private industry going in there, billion-dollar industry going in there and cooking the meals for the Iraqi soldiers, American Iraqi soldiers. And that ain't right. And that's not included in the military budget either. Right here in Boston, Massachusetts, there's an island landfill. It's called Spectacle Island, and it was a toxic waste dump with toxic materials in it, not nuclear waste, but toxic materials. And they bulldozed it all underground and put soil on top of it, and they had problems with it leaching out of the ground, the smells. This is in Boston, Massachusetts. This is Spectacle Island, they call it. It's an island, and they made it into a park, and they were having problems with the toxic liquid oozing out into the ocean around the island. But Sheila Lynch, the chairwoman of Spectacle Island Advisory Committee, said the park is perfectly safe, and we urge people to come and picnic on Spectacle Island, which was a former waste dump, toxic materials in the ground and leaching into the waterways. And Sheila Lynch, chairperson of Spectacle Island and of an advisory committee, park advisory committee, says it's perfectly safe for families to go there and picnic on the ground and to swim around the island. Common sense tells me that the toxic fumes and the toxic leaching is still going on over there. And the scientists even said that they've had problems with it in the past, but now they got it under control. So would you really want to take your family to Spectacle Island because of this jerk, Sheila Lynch, chairwoman of Spectacle Island and Park Advisory Committee, says it's safe? That's a riot. It's common sense that tells you that it's still leaking in there. They had problems before. What do you think, it just disappears? And you know, I was talking to a guy from the water department in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I forget his name. He was at trash day at Plymouth Public Library a couple of weeks ago, recycling day and stuff. And this guy in the water department says, I said to him, I said, we call ourselves civilized, but we still defecate into our drinking water. And he goes, well, it's treated, Mark, you know, before we put it back into the water supply, it's treated. And I go, treated? I go, that can't be safe. He goes, oh no, that's perfectly safe. Well, I read the report that he gave me, a 15-page report on how they treat water. They put chlorine in the water. The chlorine is a known carcinogen. So, you know, for this water guy, he was the head of the water department, I don't know what the hell he is, telling me that it's perfectly safe to drink water that's been chlorinated because, you know, he says chlorination makes it safe. No, it doesn't. Chlorination is poisonous, and it builds up in your system. You can get these chlorinated shower filters that go on your shower that filter out the chlorine, and you should get it because if you like to take showers and you think that breathing that steam is good for you, well, it's a known fact that it's chlorine vapors, and that causes all sorts of diseases. And we're now just finding out about all this stuff because common sense and logic have finally come to the media and regular people. Another ant, hold on, I gotta get him. Little bastard. Get out of here. There we go. So finally, you know, Richard Quintal, selectman, has brought common sense to the selectmen of the town of Plymouth and is urging them to get surface-to-air missiles, anti-aircraft missiles around our nuclear power plants. And that's a good thing. That's common sense. It's rationality. It's logic. You don't want to wait for a disaster to happen when Al-Qaeda has already threatened our nuclear power plants. This guy's weed whacking dirt over here. New York Times the other day, July 12, 2006, New York Times, or thereabouts, reported a full-page story of how Bush wants to sell our nuclear waste to Russia, and Russia is agreeing to want to buy it. Well, you may think that's good that we're going to be selling our nuclear waste to Russia. But what people don't realize is that 15 years ago, it was reported in all the news media, print, radio, and TV, that Russia was, when their nuclear power plants, they were selling their nuclear waste to other countries to make nuclear bombs. They were selling nuclear waste to other countries. This was a fact. The workers there were stealing the nuclear waste and selling it to other countries. So for us to deposit our nuclear waste over there is really gonna, you're really gonna open up the world to nuclear bombs. And I probably figured out why our government wants that, is because that way we can willy-nilly go in and bomb everybody we want. Not for us, not for our sake, not for the American people's sake, not to make the world safe, but to add money and riches and royalty and history to royalty like the Bushes, the Clintons, the whole Trent, Lott, Stocks, and Dashes. Nothing to do about democracy. They said they have democracy in Iraq now. Democracy means supreme power in the hands of the people. For God's sakes, we don't have democracy here in America, which is supreme power in the hands of the people. We have politics, which is defined as governmental agencies managing public affairs. That's what we have here. Politics. Governmental agencies managing public affairs. We don't have any democracy here. We have no supreme power in the hands of the people. Get real. So here it is at the Spectacle Island in Boston, Massachusetts, where there's a toxic waste dump. Not nuclear waste, but other toxic waste. And it leached into the harbor. And it leached into the harbor, and it oozes out of the ground, and they made a park out of it, and they want people to go there and have a picnic and swim around it. Common sense tells you that you don't want to go there. Come on. So then there's this guy. His name is Bruce Berman. He's the head of Safe Harbor for environmental group. He says it's all safe. Don't worry about it. Did he get hit in the head? Come on. Once you have toxic waste in the ground, unless you remove it, it's still going to be toxic, because the stuff you treat it with is just as toxic. Get real. You know, they said that the Iraqi soldiers, American Iraqi soldiers, there's like 2,500 of them dead and 18,000 wounded, which many of them are amputees and seriously disabled. And they don't talk about the ones that are mentally disabled, which runs into probably the thousands as well. And they were saying only 2,500, like they keep count, like, you know, like this is a baseball game or something, you know. When in fact, I've been counting how many dead Iraqi soldiers, American soldiers there are, and my estimate is that it's around 6,000, not 2,500. So the media doesn't even catch on, because I've been counting them since day one of the war. I've stopped after 6,000. So, you know, so the bottom line is, just like in Vietnam, they lied about the statistics, they lied about where they were bombing, they lied about everything, and some jerk, some terrorist lawyer, some lawyer on NECN with Jim Brody, or Brody, or whatever the heck his name is, Jim Brody. If anybody knows Jim Brody on NECN, tell him Mark Lord from Plymouth said that terrorist expert he had on, who was a lawyer, that said that the reason why we can invade other countries legally is because we're the most powerful country in the world. That is the most dictatorial, tyrannical statement I've ever heard anyone ever say at any time other than Hitler. This terrorist expert lawyer on NECN News with Channel 31 with Jim Brody, you tell him that Mark Lord from Plymouth, Massachusetts said that this guy said that we have a few hundred nuclear weapons. No, we have 70,000 nuclear devices, 70,000. And you can go to a book called The New Nuclear Danger by Dr. Helen Caldicott, who's been studying nuclear issues for the last 25 years and has more than once been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in that work. Her name is Helen Caldicott, and Dr. Helen Caldicott, and she gives speeches in forums all over the world, and she's got a new book out called The New Nuclear Danger. She explains how many weapons we have and what these weapons do. Some of these weapons blow above ground and suck the air out of suck the oxygen out of the air. It doesn't blow the person up. Within a 20-mile radius, these bombs explode and suck the air, the oxygen out of the air, and people suffocate to death. They bleed from their eyes and their other orifices in their ears, and they bleed to death. So, you know, these are bombs that are serious bombs, and you can't tell me in a 20-mile radius that you can pinpoint who the bad guy and who's the good guy. And then there's other terrorists. The lawyer on NECN show with Jim Brody said that we can invade other countries because we're the most powerful country in the world. Well, let me tell you, Vietnam defeated America, and they defeated America by strapping bombs to their children, and that's exactly what they're doing in Iraq, strapping bombs to their children. You can't never beat that. It's not about democracy. It's not about women's rights. It's not about politics. It's about oil, royalty, and control over the richest area in the world. And it doesn't benefit us in any way. And I've said it over and over again. A lot of people don't realize this, but they don't even listen to George Bush's speeches. George Bush in his speech said that the Iraqi oil is the Iraqi people's oil, and the Iraqi people should profit from it. We have to get the Iraqi oil back in the hands of the Iraqi people because it's their natural resources. This is what George Bush said. Well, I say to you, my fellow Americans, isn't the American oil the natural resources of the American people? Just as the Iraqi oil is the natural resources of the Iraqi people, but George Bush wants to get the oil back in the hands of the Iraqi people so that they can profit from it. But the American oil, our natural resources, are in the hands of private organizations such as Exxon, who control it, and rape Mother Earth, and then sell it back to us at a high premium. Shouldn't George Bush be fighting for the Americans' right to have the American oil because that's our natural resources? But you know, people don't listen to his speeches, okay? They listen to the flag waving, the songs. They don't listen. And media who doesn't pick up on it, like NECN, Jim Brody, they don't pick up on these speeches. All you have to do is read the newspapers and listen to the speeches, and the government will tell you exactly where they're screwing us. And they'll tell you exactly where the truth lies. They'll tell you exactly what they're doing, but yet the spin on it, you like to listen to democracy, patriotism, the freedom of speech, freedom of the way, and all this shit. You know, that's what you like to hear. You don't want to hear the truth, because the truth hurts. New York City citizens are suing the federal government for $1 billion because they were not adequately protected from the toxins that were given off by the World Trade Center towers collapse. And I don't blame them. The Environmental Protection Agency lied about the air quality at the time when those towers were pulverized into gray dust. And when they went in there, the Environmental Protection Agency, and put up air quality testing machines, they knew that the air was toxic and bad and it already has caused 500 people have gotten cancers from it, and 10 people have died from respiratory illnesses, which is they stop breathing because of this. And the Environmental Protection Agency for 1 year lied to the American public at the urging of George Bush, because George Bush cited Homeland Security reasons not to release the true facts about the bad air quality around the World Trade Center towers. He cited Homeland Security reasons, and EPA went along with it, and all these people have all these illnesses when easily they could have been walking around with these masks on, and all these illnesses and deaths could have been avoided. You know, everything else that we ingest in our lungs, this is cigarettes now, all right? You get a cigarette, go get yourself a cigarette. And young people are smart. Young people are very smart. Cigarettes, if everything that we ingest in our bodies, even deodorant that we put into our arms, under our arms, even the hemorrhoidal cream that you apply to your anuses have the exact ingredients on it? Why is it another orifice, your mouth, where a cigarette is puffing away, why isn't it that the ingredients of cigarettes are not on the package? There are 4,000 ingredients in cigarettes. 4,000. If people and young people were allowed to read those 4,000 ingredients on cigarette packages, I am sure they would make the right decision and not smoke. We are being, if information is knowledge and power, then they are keeping knowledge and power from us to make a rational, logical decision. Like I said, they put the ingredients on hemorrhoidal cream that you apply to your anus. Why don't they put the ingredients in cigarettes that you apply to your mouth that ingest directly into your lungs and central nervous system? So if Congress really wanted to do a service to the American people, they need to put the 4,000 ingredients labeled on the cigarette packages to give us the knowledge and to give us the power to understand and have common sense and logical rationale to make our own decision. But if we don't know what's in the product, then how can we make a rational, logical decision? If I told you that the tomatoes you eat had cow dung in it, say tomatoes, that jelly, juicy, little jiggly little jelly seed things that are in the tomatoes, and you cut them open, they all ooze out. What if I told you that was cow manure? Would you eat it? But let me tell you something about cow manure. You more than likely could eat that tomato with cow manure in it, and nothing would happen to you. Maybe you might get a slight stomachache every now and then. But when you're talking 4,000 ingredients that contain jet fuel, that contain benzene, which is a highly toxic, it's number 2 on the Environmental Protection Agency's list of cancer-causing drugs, known cancer. Benzene is in there. There's rocket fuel. There's carbon monoxide. And all other sorts of deleterious drugs, products, herbs, plants, fuels, and cancer-causing ingredients. So why don't we have those 4,000 ingredients on cigarette packages? And Congress should be ashamed of themselves, and it ain't right. Only in America. Whatever happened to preventative care and medicine? Preventative care. You go to a doctor. I mean, I've known people to go to doctors with simple rashes and stuff, and they give them a pill, and they give them some salve, but they don't tell them the root cause, which is there's something that you're eating that's causing this. There's something in the environment that is causing this. Whatever happened to preventative medicine? Because if they cure you, I guess you don't need doctors now, do you? The famous doctor who won a Pulitzer Prize for medicine for vitamin C research, his name was Linus Pauling. And high doses of vitamin C, which are very harmless to your body. So whatever you don't use, you expel out. It slows down the process of prostate cancer and breast cancer. People are concerned about breast cancer today. And JAMA, the Journal of Medical and Medical Association, has they have 300 independent tests. They had 300 independent tests in Europe, in Holland. And there was 300 individual independent tests concerning breast cancer in the link to wine. They said a glass of wine a day more than likely will lead to breast cancer because there's something in the wine that distorts the fatty cells in the breasts, which then turn to cancer. There were 300 independent scientific tests concerning this matter of breast cancer and wine consumption, but for some reason it's not out to the public. Now some predictions, okay? You like predictions? I'm going to predict something right now. If you're watching me now, you're watching me right now. That's a prediction. See that? I'm a Nostradamus. So Homeland Security comes out and says, another Nostradamus. Homeland Security comes out and says that there was a threat to put sarin gas, or cyanide gas, in the subways in New York City to kill, you know, hundreds of people. And there was a threat that that was going to happen by Al-Qaeda. And a Homeland Security guy came out and said, well, if it hasn't happened yet, it won't happen. Like, when did he become Nostradamus? So you get Homeland Security telling the people in New York subways that there has been a threat, written in verbal and video and all that stuff, that they were going to gas the New York subways with cyanide and sarin gas, which will kill you pretty instantly. And the Homeland Security guy says, well, if it hasn't happened yet, it won't happen. Like, how the fuck does he know? He must be Nostradamus. Yeah. But why not? Because Ronald Reagan had a psychic he listened to all the time. I forget her name. Some real strange name like Quark or Quank or Quack, something like it. And Ronald Reagan used to listen to a psychic. It's a good one, huh? Homeland Security in Plymouth, Massachusetts, or any town in America, it should be disbanded. FEMA should be disbanded. Mama. Emergency Management Administration in Plymouth should just be dissolved. Take those salaries and put them into something more important. What are these people getting paid for just sitting at desks, pushing pencils, saying, well, if a disaster ever happens, this is what we'll do. You ain't gonna do nothing, because I had a FEMA director of Quincy, Massachusetts tell me, and he didn't want me to say this on the air. If I had his name in front of me, I would say it. In future shows, I'll find it and tell you his name. He said that you can kiss your ass goodbye if the nuclear power plant melts down. No, it's not going to explode. It'll melt down and radiation will go everywhere. There'll be giant car lot jams everywhere. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, you know, there's no way you're going to escape a nuclear power disaster. But you got to name names, you know? So now it's time for the predictions, okay? Now I'm going to be Nostradamus. Yeah. All right, Nostradamus. A large meteorite will strike in the next 10 years and cause thousands of deaths. That's one prediction. Another prediction is homegrown terrorists will blow up another skyscraper in New York City. No doubt about it in my mind. Why aren't there no-fly zones around New York City? Why isn't there no-fly zones around our nuclear power plants? Another prediction that a nuclear power plant is going to get struck by an airplane. For God's sakes, right here in Plymouth, Massachusetts. A lady told me the other day, her name's Kathy. Kathy and Jack. And Jack has a art show right at Pac TV Studios, and you can go see him there. And he paints pictures of Manomet. So Kathy has told me that she called up the police because she says that there was a plane flying right near the nuclear power plant the other day. Well, you know, that's what you're going to have. The terrorists are planning on attacking a nuclear power plant, sure. Then you got these homegrown terrorists, these 19 and 20-year-old and 25-year-old disgruntled young people who think the government sucks, which it does, and but you don't, you know, bomb innocent people because of it, and they're going to fly a friggin' plane right into the plant. So we need surface-to-air missiles around a nuclear power plant, anti-aircraft missiles around a nuclear power plant. There's going to be a young student youth revolution in America. The youth are finally going to say, you know, we're fed up with no seatbelts on school buses. We're fed up with not having the right to vote because the laws affect us. And young people under the age of 20 years old spend close to $2 billion to $5 billion a year on records, clothes, food, and other substances. They need to get together and form a group, the Revolutionary Youth, and to get so that they can get on the voting ballot. And that's what's going to happen in the next 10 years. You have to come to some fundamental reasoning and logic, which is the governments of the world are destroying our natural resources, taking as much as they can, as fast as they can, and not looking into the 21st century's future. We are going backward in time. Our paradise will be lost once again. I am running a contest. I want you to record all my tapes and send them out to MSNBC, to producers. Send them out to CNBC. Send them out to CBS, ABC, MTV. Get me a national contract and I'll give you 25% of my salary for life. Get me a contract on national TV. The truth has to be told. Just like I was saying about Russia, how they sold nuclear waste 15 years ago to other countries so that they could build nuclear bombs and start up their own nuclear bomb systems. And Bush wants to sell all our nuclear waste to Russia? I mean, do we look past our nose at these things? Does media even understand or see what the hell is going on? The media is just a big part of it, along with commercialization. You got to have your Nike shoes. You got to have a Tommy Hilfiger shirt. You got to have the fat clothes. You know, it's all crap. Don't believe it, young people. It's all an indoctrination of society where they want you to buy their oil, buy their products, pollute our land, pollute our water, while they sit on 5,000-acre farms that have organic food, windmills, and greenhouses, and spring water, and clean air. Don't be fooled. Go get yourself a sandwich. On the internet, YouTube Bono, you know Bono, the bonehead Bono, or the rock group YouTube Bono, he posted a question on the internet. He says, how can we eliminate poverty? And my answer to that is, how can you eliminate poverty? My answer to that is, most governments of the world own billions and billions of acres of land, open land. In America alone, the federal government owns 1 billion acres of land, which is approximately 1/3 of the United States they own as open land. I say every American birthed in America should get 1 acre of land, whereas the military will build geodesic domes, energy-efficient homes, low-interest loans on these 1 acre of land, and people in America will have 1 acre of land given to them by birth. For the next 200 years, there's enough land to do that. Give them a home, geodesic dome, energy-efficient home, low-interest loans. Then you teach them how to farm. Give them 2 chickens and 2 rabbits. Then they'll be self-sufficient as far as the food is concerned. And to employ all these Americans for the next 150 years, I propose a monorail system built above existing highways, 200 feet above existing highways, a solar-powered, wind-power monorail public transportation system that would connect cities and towns and states and eventually internationally over the seas. It will be the most colossal engineering feat, second only to the pyramids of Giza. And it would employ American people for the next 150 years. And that's how you get rid of poverty. Use that as a model for other countries, and that's how you get rid of poverty. There was another question. His name was, on the internet, his name was Stephen Hawking. He's an astrophysicist. He's considered smarter than Einstein, smarter than Leonardo da Vinci. He's a modern-day Leonardo da Vinci Einsteinian wizard. His name is Stephen Hawking, astrophysicist. And he posted a question on the internet. He says, with our world in political chaos, environmental chaos, and cultural and social chaos, will humanity last another 100 years? My answer to that is yes, we will. Although governments will cause nuclear conflagration. There'll be nuclear holocaust 1,000 times worse than Hitler Germany. It'll pollute the air, land, water, seas, food supply, our reproduction organs. But yes, we will survive, because the meek will inherit the earth, because the meek know where all the good hiding places are. We may be deformed, malformed from radiation poisoning of our genetic chromosomes, but we will survive. I have a plan how we can take back our government. It's called the Pig Party, people in government. Elect regular people in government. Pig Party, people in government. Regular people like myself will get the crucial issues of the day on the ballot. There's 14 crucial issues of the day. Has to do with housing, affordable housing, healthcare, education, food supply, livable wages, jobs, peace on earth, how to keep terrorists out of here. If you ever watch the news like Imus in the Morning or CNN News and all these political gerrymandering, panty waist, milquetoast pundits in our governments, they're always talking about China, Germany, Spain, they're always talking about Mexico, they're always talking about these other countries' problems. What about our problems? What about relating to the gang wars in the streets in Dorchester, Massachusetts, where stray bullets kill and paralyze 3-year-old girls and boys? What about concentrating on cleaning up the streets of homeless people, getting them jobs, getting them into geodesic homes? What about saving the 15,000 children a year that die from lack of medical care? But yet Congress turns around and passes a bill to pay for Viagra and penile implants for middle-aged men. What about taking a real look at Congress and how they're against us every time, and how they vote for themselves, their families, associates, and big business, and not the American people? Ever since 1776, my fellow Americans, politicians in Congress has been voting for themselves, their families, associates, and big business, and not the American people. When is the time we look up and we say, you know, these assholes in Congress, wait a minute, assholes are a useful thing. These shitheads in Congress, we need to get them out, the louts. Vote in regular people like myself. Write me in, Mark Lord, for governor, President of the United States of America. I'm running for President of the United States of America. Write me in. We'll get things done, and we'll get it done by putting the crucial issues of the day on the ballot. The first thing I would do as President of the United States of America is get anti-aircraft missiles around our nuclear power plant. The second thing I would do is withdraw our troops from Iraq. Let them deal with themselves. The third thing I would do would invest in community-owned wind farms so that the people of America and the citizens and the children and the future of America, energy sources benefit them and not Exxon. And I would get back the oil companies, our natural resources in America to the American people, just as Bush wants to get the Iraqi oil back to the Iraqi people for their profit. I said we should get American oil back to the American people for our profit. And I said we should build what I was saying about the monorail system. Build that so we'll employ all these people in America for 150 years. Give them homes, geodesic domes. Have the military build the homes. That's a true hero, not sending them into some conflagration to fight for oil, royalty, drugs, and history in megalomania. And I'm Mark Lord. Write me as President of the United States of America. Every child will have health care in my America. People say, well, how will you pay for it? It has been a well-known fact. Cultural scientists, social scientists, political scientists have said if you took 1% of the military budget in America, it would pay for all these programs that I just mentioned. Is this on? And put the ingredients on cigarettes, 4,000 deadly ingredients on cigarettes, so that the young people can make up their mind. They're holding back knowledge from us, which is power. And if we don't have knowledge, we don't have power. And then we're just going to go down the tubes like they want us to, buying their deadly products to promote their opulent lifestyles of diamond ceilings, gold-studded underwear, $500 bottles of wine, bunkers the size of cities so that they can escape the nuclear conflagration, because it is coming. The terrorists are coming, the terrorists are coming, the terrorists are coming. And I'm going to chant that phrase, and I'm going to gallop it all over the land in the spirit of Paul Revere when he got on his galloping horse with his lantern one day in Boston, Massachusetts in the 1700s and said, the British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming. But when the nuclear power plants are not protected by anti-aircraft missiles and are bombed and by airplanes, and then we all die here, and the Muslims go up into heaven, then we can say the Muslims are coming. The Muslims are coming because they're coming in heaven with their 76 virgins while we have a hell on earth. Is that what you want? Mother Earth reduced to radioactive dirt? And I'm Mark Lord, and this is City Lights, City Streets, Special K, which means knowledge. Have knowledge and peace. Now go get yourself something fucking to eat. I've been fasting on water 3 or 4 times a week for the last 20 years. The doctor said, Mark, you're starving yourself to death. You got crystals in your blood because of lack of food. And I say, you know, I'd rather have crystals in my blood than evil in my blood. For the crystals give me strength to reflect the reality. And they say, oh, you should have been dead years ago. Well, I ain't dead, am I? Don't listen to doctors. Doctors don't know nothing. If you have a swollen leg and it's infected, okay, antibiotic. But for them...
Hello there. What you got cooking?
What was I saying? Battery died. Oh, shit. If you want to get a t-shirt of City Lights, City Streets, it says City Lights, City Streets, and it says freedom of speech, use it or lose it, and on the back it says put it on the ballot. It's a t-shirt. You can write me a P.O. Box 644, Plymouth, Massachusetts, 02362. 6444, 3/4. Plymouth, Massachusetts, 02362. And just write attention mark and tell me your size and all that, and I'll tell you how much it costs and all that. You can go to MySpace. I forget what it's called. It's MySpace, City Lights, City Streets, MySpace, and you can see MySpace, and I got all sorts of information on there too. If you want to help me in the production of the show, better yet, like I said, take my shows and send them out at your cost, which is a very little cost. Send them out with a letter saying that, you know, you want Mark on national TV, Mark Lord on national TV. And I will give you 25% of my salary for life. So send them to MTV, MSNBC, any kind of contest or anything. That's the contest I'm running. I think it's a pretty good darn contest. So videotape any shows and send them to whoever you want, and get me a job in national TV, and you'll get 25% of my salary for life. If anybody wants to be an actor on the show, I wrote 12 Twilight Zone episodes, and we're going to start producing these 12 episodes, and we're going to offer them to the to production houses in America to see if we can get them on TV. And there's 12 modern day Twilight Zone episodes, and I need actors. I need women actors, anyone over 18, whether you're in a wheelchair or not. We'll write you into the script. I don't care who you are. Everyone's accepted. And I'm not one of these people who say, well, they're not right for the part. We'll get you in the movie no matter what. You know, I mean, I know what I want, but as a good director, we can turn, you know, an ugly duckling into a swan. So if you feel that you don't know how to act, or you don't think you're going to make the part, everyone, if you show up at the scene of the shooting of the short stories, short plays, Twilight Zone episodes, they're called City Lights, City Streets episodes, and it's about the macabre. It's like Stephen King, but they're only 28 minutes long, and there's 12 of them. And we're going to start production in the next couple of weeks. So if you want to write me at P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362, or you can write to PAC TV at 130 Court Street, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02360, 130 Court Street, or you can call 130 Court. You can call PAC TV at 830-6999 if you want to be a volunteer on these shows and be an actor. And there it's in the phone book, PAC TV, 830-6999. So that's what we're going to start doing now. And like I said, I'm always running for President of the United States, Governor of Massachusetts, State Representative. Write me in. I want you to watch State Representative DeCito. I want you to watch the Governor of Massachusetts. They're not for the people. They say, oh, I have a vision and I want to do this. No, you don't have a vision. The people have a vision. The people know what they want. Who knows more about health care than the working American? Who knows more about livable wages than the working American? Who knows more about public transportation than the working American? Put these crucial issues of the day on the ballot, and how we could get better health care, better public transportation systems, community-owned wind farms, so that we don't have to pay the high prices to the energy companies. We can phase out nuclear power, because whether you agree with it or not, they are a threat because of the terrorists are coming, the terrorists are coming, the terrorists are coming. And I'm Mark Lord, and this is City Lights, City Streets, Special K. And I'm looking for a job. I've been a professional cook for 20 years. I can do anything. I can do carpentry, I can wash dishes, I'll do anything. You can write me at P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362, and I'm willing to do anything except climb on roofs or work at a nuclear power plant. Unless I'm the one that presses the button when the planes go over. Bam! I've been finding age discrimination. I've been finding that people know me and they're afraid to hire me because they're afraid that I might spout my political views, which is nonsense. You know, you want a job done, I'll do it. But I need to supplement my income so that I can supplement this show, because I cannot continue doing this show, enlightening you, the public, to the errors and wrongs of the society without having a steady income. So I need a job, so you can write me at P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362. I can do cashiers, I'm a great cook, I do carpentry, I'm an artist. What else? I can join the circus. I probably end up, well, get me elected to Congress. That's a circus, isn't it? I will be the ringmaster. Elect me to Congress and I'll be the ringmaster. I'll go up into that State House in Congress and I'll stand on top of the podium fighting for your rights, fighting for veterans' rights, where they should have a satellite office here in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and why don't they? This is a huge area. Why send them to Brockton? Why send them to Roxbury? We need a satellite office of the Veterans Affairs right here. Where's Don Lincoln on this one? Where's Sean Dodgson, Boy Scout, on this one? We need a veterans office here. Right? And I say to you, my fellow Americans, do not join the military. Do not join the military, because the wars that are fought today are not fought for democracy or freedom. They're fought for oil and royalty and big business. And if you can't see that by now, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. See, they got bombs that could just annihilate the whole area. Look what Harry Truman did in World War II. He dropped a bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. All he had to do was drop a bomb in Tokyo Bay, and that would have caused a tidal wave, and it would have killed maybe 10,000 people instead of 100,000 people, and hundreds of thousands of more getting mutated with births from generations yet born because of the radiation poisoning of the chromosomal reproduction system. So, we'll have world peace one day. Just like when they said that the man would never be able to fly. Well, the Wright brothers proved them wrong. Just like that one day they said, oh, you can never transplant hearts. Dr. Christian Barnard, surgeon of South Africa, proved them wrong. Just like they said that you can never land on the moon. Well, NASA proved them wrong. So let's prove the naysayers wrong about peace. There will be world peace one day. Would you rather have a world in peace or a world in pieces? I urge all you Macintosh, Machiavellian mavericks out there with computers and Windows software to post on the internet, do you a worldwide ballot? Do you want war or do you want peace? Vote now. We'll tally up the votes of the world, and the ones that want war, we'll ship them off into obsolete and remote islands and let them fight it out, while the rest of us live in peace and outlaw war, just as we outlaw cannibalism. We can outlaw cannibalism, but you can't outlaw war. I say make cannibalism legal and outlaw war. At least we'll have a biting chance. And what I'm going to do right now, I have a contract, and I'll mail it to you, and you can sign it. It's gladiators to the death. With all these Iron Man contests where they pound each other, they can kick each other in the testicles and everything, I'm going to start my own gladiators to the death, where we put two men in a ring, and they fight to the death with weapons and without weapons. And the one that lives gets $1 million. So if you want to sign that contract, or you want to go and risk your life for $1 million to fight to the death, then write me a P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362, and I'll send you a contract so that you can sign to be a combatant in gladiators to the death, and you win $1 million when you win. And I'll rent out Madison Square Garden. We'll have a broadcast every week on HBO. We'll charge $100 a HBO ticket to watch it on TV. I'll raise billions of dollars every month, and we'll give $500 million to the people that need it, the homeless, the sick, the elderly. So if you want to sign up for this program, write me at P.O. Box write to me at P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362, and you can sign up for Gladiators to the Death, and you win $1 million once you defeat and kill your opponent in the ring. And no government agency and no law, no federal law, no international law will stop me from promoting these sports, because if they can send men to war to die over money and oil for the benefit of the oil companies and not the American people, then I say we could have gladiators to the death so that the people in America can benefit from the $1 billion a month that these sales would generate. And I'm Mark Ward, and this is City Lights, City Streets. Send the tapes out. Send the tapes out. These are just only a few ideas. Next week on next Wednesday night at 10, I'm on 10 to 12 Wednesday night. And on Monday I do a cooking show with Barbara Gray, 6 to 7:30, which we slip in some sexual innuendo and politics too. 6 to 7:30 every Monday night. And this show goes from 10 to 12 a.m. every Wednesday night. And I want you to watch it. And next week, I'm going to tell you secrets I've never told you before. Because I'm at a stage in my life of living a half a century on this earth to tell you secrets that I've never told you before, and that the government doesn't want you to know, and big business doesn't want you to know, and authority doesn't want you to know. I know how to take it back. And together, with the knowledge of Special K, City Lights, City Streets, we'll take it back. Just like we need the ingredients on cigarettes, the 4,000 ingredients. If knowledge is power, then we have to have the knowledge to know what those ingredients are, so we will not ingest them into our bodies and digest them into our bodies only to die from cancer-causing materials. Otherwise, we would know what these ingredients were and we wouldn't smoke. And that's the truth. And that is where the truth lies. And of course, I am always on the search for the meaning of life. You hear that noise? That's my brain. So if you stand next to me in a checkout line, you hear that sound? That's the wheels turn, man. The wheels are gonna keep turning. Go round and round. So what do you want to talk about? Now it's your turn. You really shouldn't be watching a show with no clothes on. It's very unbecoming. I wrote this book, and you can get this book. It's a 48-page book based on Common Sense by Thomas Paine. It's called How You Can Rule the World Sitting at Your Computer in Your Underwear Drinking Beer. That's the title. How You Can Rule the World Sitting at Your Computer in Your Underwear while drinking beer. And if you want that book, you can write me at P.O. Box 15. You can write to me at P.O. Box 6444, Plymouth, Massachusetts 02362, and we'll send you a copy. But it costs money, but I'll tell you the details. 48-page book on how you can rule the world sitting in your underwear at your computer drinking beer. Thomas Paine, great man. Thomas Paine said, his 48-page booklet, Common Sense, you should pick it up at the library. It's not very long, 48 pages. He helped start the Revolutionary War, American Revolutionary War, which France was instrumental on saving the Americans from the British by giving them weapons. So the French actually bailed us out, folks. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. People forget that. And then there are people that say Americans are America. Mike Hogan has a show, Americans Are America. No, Americans are not America. Because the native people were here before us. It was the Pilgrims that came and slaughtered them. And it created genocide, gave them smallpox blankets. So the real Plymouth history isn't told in the schools. The Pilgrims were considered saviors of the land when in fact they were the demons of the land that killed the native people that were here in America. The native people in America don't want to be called Indians, they don't want to be called Native Americans, they want to be called natives. And that's what they are. They were born here, raised here, and are still here, but yet are treated like second-class citizens. And black people have a tough time of it too. And people over 50 like myself have a tough time over it too, unless you have a decent trade or even your own business, then you can make it. But I do believe that black people should get restitution for the slavery that their families have endured over the centuries in America. You see, the Jewish people during the Holocaust got huge million-dollar settlements from governments and Swiss banks and other agencies and administrations and governments because of their enslavement in the camps in Auschwitz, etc., and Birkenau and all that. Likewise, I think the black people, it was more of an insidious type of slavery, and it was worse. It was a terrible thing, slavery in America, and I do think that the black families in America should, each black person in America should get $50,000 because of it. I do believe that. And you say, where are you going to get the $50,000, Mark? Why don't we take it from the oil companies? who own our natural resources in America and sell it back to us at a high premium. But in Iraq, Bush wants to bring back the oil back to the Iraqi people, because he says the natural resources in Iraq oil are the Iraqi people's oil, and they should profit from it, and it should be taken out of the hands of private organizations and given back to the Iraqi people. I dare say, shouldn't the American oil be given back to the American people? Are not those our natural resources? And then get every black person in America $50,000 for the heartache, the suffering, the history, the nightmares that they had to go through over the centuries. Get real. Bring humanity back. Take away the insanity. Because all this insanity is the profanity of an age. So someone said to me, Mark Lord, tell me of love. Someone said to me, Mark Lord, tell me of love. I was on the Harvard campus, and they said, Mark Lord, tell me of love. And I said, love doesn't come from heaven above. Love comes from the heart. And to start, you must see the logic and rationale of our day and embrace every day as the last day. And live every day like you're dying. To try to be a better person every day. That is true love. Wow. I was on a Harvard campus the other day in Boston, Massachusetts. And they said to me, Mark, Lord, tell me of wealth. Talk to me of wealth. And I said, wealth is to shelf the aircraft, jet fighter plane, stealth. That is the wealth. To disarm ourselves. To make an example. To make an example to the world that yes, we Americans can disarm ourselves of the 70,000 nuclear devices that we now have. That we should be able to disarm ourselves of all weaponry, weapons of mass destruction, gases, poisons, psychological warfare. And we should open up the archives of the secret documents of JFK's assassination so that we can all see where the truth lies. To open up the documentation of the UFO research, and that is where the truth lies. To have world leaders to